Alright guys, directed by Mario Bava, starring Ava Bartow, Cameron Mitchell, Ariana Gorini, and Claude Dantes, Blood and Black Lace follows Isabella, a young model who is murdered by a mysterious masked figure at a boarding house run by Max Morlan and his lover, Countess Christina Como. When Isabella's boyfriend is suspected of the killing, her diary is discovered and the masked killer begins killing off everyone who's come in contact with it. So if you've been here for the last few months, then it's Giallo era. And if you haven't already watched the introduction to Giallo video and Tenebrae, I highly recommend you do so because you are not going to understand what just happened in the beginning of the video if you don't. While The Girl Who Knew Too Much is known as the first Giallo, Blood and Black Lace is largely considered one of the first gialli to have all the defining factors that the genre would come to be known by. It combined elements of eroticism, mystery, and exaggerated colorful photography to establish its surreal world. Now, despite being so instrumental in the development of the genre, the film was actually a commercial failure. Critics praised Bava's direction, but felt that the film was lacking in character development and substance, which is a great place to start because my feelings are not far off. Now, this film, while it is absolutely gorgeous in its cinematography, music, and aesthetic, the story is a bit weak for me. This shit slaps though. Now, I actually really enjoyed this film and I do think it's an essential watch if you're getting into gialli, but many aspects of the story feel like an afterthought. One of the most glaring issues of the film is a centralized cast. There are a lot of characters in this film and their connection to Isabella is haphazardly explained and then they're killed off before we can get to know them any better, so there's that. The silver lining is that at least the death scenes are very beautiful with extravagant sets and effective cinematography. One of my favorites being the bathtub death scene. Now, a lot of the oversight while writing the story seems to kind of have bled into production as well. There are a number of continuity errors, poor blocking during action shots, and just bad takes that are left in the final cut. One of my favorite mistakes actually happens during the bathtub scene that I just mentioned. After murdering Tao Li, the killer attempts to cover up the crime by making it look like she took her own life. When he goes to cut her, there's already a cut line on her skin and he just kind of traces it with the knife. Love that. I also felt that our lack of main character affected the twist at the end. Not only is it not as effective since we don't have any real connection to Morlacci and Christina, but it's also not as surprising since we don't know much about any character and don't grow any connection to them. While I wasn't really impressed with the story, I felt that the film was overall enjoyable and is effective in conveying the tension and suspicion that the tight-knit fashion house begins to feel. Honestly, it's kind of a bummer. While I had a great time watching it, the slow second act and lack of interesting twists makes this one a hard sell in my book. And I'd probably recommend a number of other films before I recommend Blood and Black Lace. That being said, I do think it's an extremely important watch to understand the development of the giallo genre. And with that, I am going to be giving Blood and Black Lace 3 levs out of 5. If you're just getting into giallo, I definitely recommend watching this one as it is a staple. But if you're already into the genre and you haven't seen this one yet, I wouldn't really rush for it. I will say though, aesthetically, alright you guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe as it really helps me a lot. And be sure to click that little notification bell to be up to date every single time I upload. And let me know in the comments, what did you think of Mario Bava's Blood and Black Lace? Did you enjoy it? Was it not really for you? Why don't you tell me your favorite Bava film? I'd love to talk about it. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.